Hello guys, Shadows Rain here, and today I'm going to be giving you your first top 10 tips and tricks guide for players who are trying to get better at the game. We are going to be looking at the Gulag today, and I'm going to try and give you some advice of how you can get out of them and incorporate some simple things you can start doing to start increasing your win rate in the Gulag. Now I will be making more advanced videos about this in the future, but for now I'll keep this down to a beginner to intermediate kind of level, just to make sure you're getting out there and supporting your team wherever possible, because you don't want to be like Sandbag and be a constant expense to the team. So step one is have a plan. Now this should be dictated by the weapon that you're using. So for example, if you have a submachine gun in the Gulag, you know that you should be trying to get close with that and trying to punish people. If it's a very recoily gun, then yeah, you want to be trying using the hipfire capabilities of the gun. And likewise, if you're using a assault rifle which has awful hipfire, try and take that fight at a bit more of a range and try just to be pre-aiming it a little bit more, ready for them. And that is one way that you can take it from there. Now other factors will dictate your plan as well, so that would be such as what tacticals do you have, what lethals do you have, and of course the quality of the opponent. But obviously you'll probably expect them to be somewhat decent, and if you're not expecting them to be somewhat decent, what the hell is wrong with you? So step 2 is communicate where possible. Now if you've got someone in the Gulag with you, like a teammate, you can use them to actually tell you where they are, but make sure that they're keeping the calls quiet. Well, not quiet, but simple. So for example, if you are going to the left, or someone's going to the left, just say left spawn, left mid, left your spawn. You know, just keep it simple, keep it concrete, because the last thing people want to be hearing is, oh, they're to the left of that thing. Like, no good. Left mid, left top, left spawn. Just keep it simple. That's how you can get people to be helping you out as well. Also, be aware that you may also be getting called out as well. So if it looks like someone who's not on your team is staring at you, they're probably calling you out to the team. So the best thing that you can be doing is just keep on moving so that person is constantly stuttering. And if the person who's giving them communication is constantly stuttering, it's going to be masking your footsteps as well. So use that to your advantage, and obviously that may help you get a little bit better again out of the Gulag. Number 3, follow the rocks. Now, people who aren't in either team are going to be throwing rocks at people just for a laugh and something to do. So, if you're getting rocks thrown off you, then they're also getting rocks thrown in a different direction. Follow the rocks. It may actually lead you to where that person is hiding. But there's other ways that we can find out where people are hiding, and we'll get to that into the next tip, which is number 4, use your equipment and lethals. So, if you throw a stun or a flash to the left and you don't get a hit marker, you can rule out that they're not at the left. Therefore, you know that they can be at the right or the middle or elsewhere. So if they haven't seen them run past you, that limits one option of where they are. And that is massively insightful because it rules out a third of where they are. And I think that is one of the things that you should be working on to try and get out of the Gulag a little bit better, a little bit more consistently. Use the lethals as well. If someone's hiding around a corner and you know they're there, throw your lethal around, force them out. Best case scenario, it gets the kill. Worst case scenario, it does damage into them. But what I will say though, is if you do get a hit marker with either a stun, a flash, or Semtex C4, whatever it is, make sure you follow that up, because they are going to be weak. And it's pointless you waiting until it's all done, like their flash or their stun's done, before you go and attack. Punish them. You know where they are, they're stunned, they've taken damage, finish the fight on your terms, not on theirs. So step number 5 is take note of where they're facing at the round start. So I'll show you a quick little demonstration here. Some people tend to look in the direction that they're going to run. So you can see here that this person's looking in this direction. So I'm anticipating them to actually be running into that direction. And sure enough, they do. Now they don't always do this, but this can give you a general guide as to where they're going to be going and where you should be expecting the fight from. So yeah, just keep a note of that. Also, bear in mind that good players are going to be using that against you as well. So what you can do is use this to your advantage and dummy them. So maybe look all the way right, and then once it's over, where it shows you where everyone is, go left, shock them, surprise them. So you can use that to your advantage as well. And it's just these little things that are going to help you get out of the Gulag more often than not. Remember, information is everything in Warzone, and that includes the Gulag. So yeah, this comes on to our next tip, which is tip number 6, which is don't peek slow, jump peek, use movement to your advantage. So if you're going to peek slow and they're already watching that alleyway, which people quite often enough are, you're dead. Plain and simple. So the best thing you do, if you're wanting to peek left and you think they are left, jump left. That way you're going to catch them by surprise. You're expecting to see them there anyway, which is why you're peeking. And by the time that they adjust their aim, you're going to have them already dead. So yeah, jump peek and keep moving. So if someone shot at you first, run, move, keep moving. Someone seems to be aiming high and crouching, drop shot. If they're aiming high, go low. Simple as that. Simple little tips. Just keep yourself moving all the time and don't stand still for too long if you think they've got the drop on you. And this takes us into tip number 7. Passively aim high and use all of your vision. So in the middle of your crosshair, when you're on your hip fire, you see that little dot. Use that as a guide. Have that always pointed towards a point of interest. So if you're looking at the right, have that middle pointer pointing to the right. Don't have that pointing towards a wall, otherwise it's going to take you longer to aim at people. And always have it pointed up as well, to probably where their head would be if they were crouched, so the abdomen chest area. Keep it at that level, so if someone does pop around the corner and start shooting you, you're already getting shots into their chest and to their head, which is going to be doing miles more damage. What this also allows you to do is you can have one point of interest constantly in your line of sight, so you're going to shoot straight away, but you can also use your peripheral vision either side of you to also check what's going on, and all you need to do is just move left or move right with your aim and you've already started slaying them down. You don't have to move left and up or left and down, for example. So that's that tip for you. Number 8, if you find yourself a little bit tilted from obviously getting sent to the Gulag and you find yourself just a little bit irritated, just before you're about to go in, just, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and just calm your senses down a bit and get yourself all good before you take that fight. This helps more than you could possibly imagine. It might sound trivial, but it does help a lot. So yeah, if you're feeling yourself a bit tilted, just calm your mind down. Just a deep breath, slow your thoughts down, close your eyes, and as soon as you hear that you're in the Gulag, get yourself in there, get yourself ready, and start taking notes of where they're going to be going. Which brings us on to tip number 9. Use all of your senses. Request silence where necessary and use mute if you're in game chat. Now the reason that I say this is because you want to be sound whoring for footsteps. Sometimes you're going to be playing with against players who are aggressive, and you need to be able to hear where they're coming from. So if your team is just talking crap, tell them just to shush. There's no harm in it. If they are making tactical calls, and obviously they need to be communicating with each other, mute them if you can. Obviously, if you're in Discord, that can be a little bit harder to do on the fly than others. But yeah, just bear that in mind. You want to have all your senses available and trust your gut instinct. If you think that someone's somewhere and you're thinking you could be wrong, go with your gut instinct. Sometimes you might be wrong, but you're going to feel a lot better and a lot less tilted if you go with your instinct. And it's also easier to fight when you're going with your instinct as opposed to when you're going against it. It's so much easier to fight with your instinct than it is against it. Which brings us into number 10. Don't panic. Be calm. Worst case scenario, you'll get rezzed by your teammates or you'll get a jailbreak. Remember, they died too. The reason they're in the Gulag is because they died too. So they're probably tilted as well and susceptible to panic. Use that against them. Put the pressure on them. Get loads of damage off on them. Sometimes you can be in the Gulag with someone you killed just beforehand. If you think that they're a bad player, push that to your advantage. If it was a good player, you have that to your advantage as well. Just be calm. Remember, you know what you're up against if you take note of what's going on around you. Just be calm. The worst possible scenario as mentioned is you get rezzed or jailbreaked. And they die too. So they're not God's gift to Earth in terms of Call of Duty. So use that to your advantage and just be calm. All you need to do. You're not going to win many fights when you're up a height. So keep the mindset going, keep in a good place. And yeah, that is currently the end of this video. If you did like this guide, do let me know in the comments below. We do have another one coming out later on this week. As mentioned, this is more tailored towards people who are on a negative KD and want to get themselves into a positive and improve their current statistics. I will be doing more in-depth guides about this later on in the coming weeks, and if you want to see that and put that as a priority, make sure you let me know in the comments below. Until then, I hope you all stay safe, and I will see you tomorrow. Peace.